What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Gymnasium Picks Porch. That is fucking right. This is the episode. This is the show where me, my buddy Chase, the Lupine Fiasco, the Wolf of Oaklawn himself, and a special guest every single week just go through week. I'm so hyped I can't even talk right. Every week we go through our favorite plays for the weekend, just in a fucking shoot 'em up round table. This week we are joined none other than it's me, Gino B, the man, the myth, the legend. How are you doing, my friend?
Good. I mean, I had to pause SmackDown for a little bit. I had triple screens going on. I had the baseball game going, WWE SmackDown, also season 3 of You on Netflix, which is just fantastic. Jump into that thing.
Dude, Netflix is killing it.
So yeah, I'm all over the place, but I'm very excited to share some picks with you. My neighbor gave me a bottle of some Kentucky bourbon that I'm sipping on. Right
What do you
now.
got? What do you got? What do you got? What do you got? What do you got?
The work. So I put I mixed a little Coke in there with it, along with it, and I'm sipping a nice little drink right here, little bourbon and Coke. So very excited about that.
Did he make it himself? What brand is it? What you got? What you got?
I'll grab it in a second. It's in the kitchen around there. But I'm excited. Out in California, we don't get that Kentucky stuff out this far all that often. So I'll be getting nice and continually buzzed as the show goes on.
I'll keister some to California for you.
Hell fucking
It,
yeah.
it will be keistered though.
You'll have time right now because we're starting off the show. Before we get into any of our picks, I have a video that I want you guys to see, that I want the audience to see and weigh in on. Here it is for you guys.
Come on, you can do it, Stephanie. Come on. Close. Come on, Stephanie. Come on. Make it close, Stephanie. Come on. Come on, Stephanie. Come on, you can do it. You can do it, Stephanie. Come on. Come on. Come on. Oh, so close. So close. So close. Come on, Stephanie. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on, Stephanie. Yeah!
That, my friend, is a town in Alaska doing what I could only refer to as like mouse roulette.
First of all, was the mouse's name Stephanie?
The mouse's name was Stephanie.
Okay. That's hilarious. I thought I heard snowflake at the beginning a few times, but I mean, where's PETA? Let's be honest. I don't think they're going to be very happy about what's happening right there. That was hilarious.
I call the authorities. I feel like for the price of a block of Velveeta cheese, the fucking fix was in. You can tell.
It's literally mousetrap.
Yeah,
Literally mousetrap.
I bet those mice get treated like fucking like racehorses though. They just get to fuck like crazy and live the best life when they're done.
Right? They eat better than all of us. They definitely are more sexually active than all of us. So you're right. Yeah, I would agree.
Better bathe more often, at least in my case.
I just want to be able to I need to travel to this town now and bet on this and bet like a bunch of money on this.
I need to spend weeks handicapping this and then bet on it.
That is the goal. Better than Vegas. Get on that, by the way.
Yeah.
Let's get into picks, boys. Let's fucking pick some games this weekend. Let's start with our guest, our lovely guest, Gino. What is your first pick for the weekend?
Okay, and I'm gonna dish this one out right now because I heard you talking a little bit about this gentleman, and this is actually a DFS pick. I'll have a couple college picks and some NFL picks.
Love it.
DFS pick right away for you for NFL for Sunday. Taylor Heineke, who is only 5,800 on DraftKings. Okay. 4 games so far for Heineke as a starter, and he's coming off an absolute shit game. It's the only game that he played poorly. And let's be honest, last week, he was bad. He was awful. But he played the Saints. They have the number 3 defense based on DVOA. He's actually been really good in his other 3 starts. 24 points on DFS, 23 points on DraftKings, and 27 in his 3 games. He's only $5,800. He faced the number 3 defense last week. This week, he faces the number 32, dead last defense. Kansas City Chiefs, dead last against the pass. And what's nice about Heineke, he's got 104 yards rushing over his last 3 games. It's a little bit of a nice floor for you for a quarterback when you know you're going to get 30 to 40 yards rushing, maybe sneak into the end zone with a rushing touchdown too. So give me Heineke as like a good lineup builder for you in the Millionaire Maker or in any of your DFS lineups this week.
The
Great
Washington
stack with Scary Terry,
football,
by the way.
the
Great
Washington football teams.
The stack with Scary Terry and Seals Jones.
Yeah.
Seals freaking Jones.
Yeah.
Seals Jones is only 3,000. He got 9 points last week. You only need about 10 points from him in that range. He's already scored a touchdown earlier in the year. I think last week he ended up having like a ton of targets, 9 targets, 5 receptions. You know, if Heineke's a little bit sharper, that's if you're someone that's into stacking or you want to play that game, a little Heineke, a little McLaren, and then you go really, really inexpensive at the tight end spot, and now you're cooking.
I usually
love
stack
it.
my uppers with black market Pakistani boner pills. That's how I stack. Is
Yeah,
this different?
uppers
Is this a
and
different thing?
downers, Speedballs. That's what
Yeah.
speedballs.
I mean, I was doing the experiment of a bottle of
Delusion.
NyQuil and shotgunning a Red Bull. So
yeah.
Robo tripping.
We used to do the 2 parts Tylenol PM, 2 parts Jack Daniels. Called that the Stairway to Heaven. Yeah,
I like that.
yeah, that was a nice one. When we were like in high school, we would do that. You know?
We used to eat mushroom infused chocolates and call it "We can feel this fucking music in our bodies. Let's roll down some
There you
hills."
fucking go. Chase, what do you got for your first pick of the weekend?
I'm going to salute the damn troops this weekend. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play a Service Academy money line parlay. Give me Air Force plus 142 at Boise State, probably the best of the Service Academies. And give me the Army Black Knights at plus 432 to get it done at Camp Randall against Wisconsin. I don't know what you're thinking giving me plus 432 on Army right now. I am absolutely all over this parlay. Let's take a look. Let's see
I'm
the odds are.
pouncing on that value as well.
Yeah.
Like 432 is an insane number.
Yeah, and I mean, Army is a really good team, and like I said, Air Force probably the best of the Service Academy. I know they're both on the road, but you know what? They're on the road normally when they're protecting our freedom.
It's true.
I'm
And
not
also, I
worried.
feel like the triple option travels pretty well.
It does. It does.
I love it. My
Plus
first play is actually going to
1187.
be
Boom.
what is it?
Plus 1187.
Oh,
Two-team
give
parlay.
it to me. Give it to me, baby. I want that.
And all the girls say he's pretty fly for a white guy.
There we go.
They don't
There we
say
go.
that. They don't. I wish they did, but they don't. My first play is actually also on Gino's buck. The guy, Taylor Heineke, has a nose for the end zone. He loves nothing more than just diving over the line. And I actually have money. I'm going to put a bet on him. I'm actually going to max play it because I'm that confident. Whatever they let you. Give me Taylor Heineke first touchdown in this game because whoever gets this ball first is probably scoring. So I'm banging on the Washington football team getting the ball first. They're going to march down that field and score. And I think it'd be Taylor Heineke running it in. Something in my gut is telling me that.
Heineken, absolutely.
And I'm getting it at, what am I seeing his number at? 22-1.
That's a great price.
22-1 there. Baby. Gino, what do you got next?
Okay, we're going to go to some college football for Saturday. This is a game that Chase and I actually talked a little bit about earlier today because this game is in a free Santa Anita contest on Saturday. I'm sure a lot of the D-Gens out there would enjoy that contest. It involves horse racing from Santa Anita and then a bunch of props. One of the games of the 12 that you have to pick is Purdue, Iowa, and you have to pick the total in that game. Ooh. I love the under there. The total is 43. I just think both of these teams, the way they play, the script, they're both low-scoring teams, and they both have very good defenses. We don't know what's going on with Purdue's quarterback, shaky situation for them. Purdue has scored exactly 13 points in each of their last 3 games, and Iowa allows 13 points per game, and Purdue's only allowing 15 points a game. I see this as like a 24-14 game. 24-10, something like that, right? I think it's going to be low scoring. I think Iowa wins, and I'm going to go under the 43 in this game.
I could see it being like as bad as like 24-3 as well. Like,
right, exactly.
Iowa just seems to like be able to shut down these kinds of this grade of team.
If you can't move the ball, they will make it so hard on you where it's like disgusting to watch. You can't even watch the game.
Dude, I'm even thinking back to Purdue's game against Notre Dame, which was the one game that I watched, and that was like still like it wasn't even as close as it ended up in that game. Like they weren't even really remotely ever close except for about 5 minutes in that one. So
Purdue versus Minnesota and Purdue versus Illinois were both disgusting.
This is true. Oh, I just saw a sad open bet.
Oh,
St. Louis Cardinals National League winner plus 750.
Oh, see,
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have worn this shirt. I feel bad that I did. I apologize.
I can't see it, but now that I know that I hate it,
I'm sorry.
I get it.
Wait, Jim. So, Jim, are you a baseball? Do you have a team that you root for?
I mean, I don't.
The Athletics.
It's not really. I mean, maybe I like the A's just because I kept betting them money line. But if I had to pick a team, it would probably be the Dodgers just for my time in LA.
Nice.
I don't really have a team that I follow.
That's what I was curious because, like, for me, being in LA, I never had a football team growing up. You know, I rooted for USC quite a bit because when I was 6 years old, the Rams and the Raiders are gone. So like, the bulk of my life, I didn't have a rooting interest in LA with a football team, which is actually kind of cool when I started to gamble because I never was tied to any team. I was just betting whatever the lines like I thought were the best. And now it made it easy when the Rams came back. I was like, oh, cool. I don't have a team. I'll jump in on the Rams. You know,
I feel like that was a lot of people in LA.
Yeah. So I jumped right back in. And so now, especially because when they came back, they've been good ever since.
Yeah.
You know, makes it easy to root for a team that's good. And McVay is out there. I want to bend over so McVay can smack me on the ass and run by. You know, he's like that kind of guy.
So. He's PC John Gruden, I think. I think he's the heir apparent to like the John Gruden like voice and everything. You know, with less.
He doesn't have the scowl.
That other stuff. That's true. That's true. He's just got the fuckboy haircut.
I loved last year at one point, he said something about, you know, he was on an interview and he said, yeah, I work hard. I never get he was just kind of talking about how he's always grinding. And then his like gorgeous model fiance posts this like picture of them online, like where they're out somewhere. And she's like, okay, he does have some fun, you know? So it's like, okay, you don't have it that bad, McVay.
Exactly. Chase, what do you got up next for us?
I feel like this might be the week that we get a Houston Texans winner, folks.
I like this spot. It's a good spot.
I'm gonna hit, especially after the big letdown by the Colts on Monday night against the Ravens. Yeah, I'm gonna hit Houston plus 10, and I might even sprinkle just a little bit at the plus 364 on the money line. And I'm thinking I'm gonna hit the under in that. Lord knows. I don't know how many ankles Carson Wentz has, but they will all be sprained. I don't think that this one they're going to score a ton of points. The painted giraffe that they have playing quarterback for Houston,
that gorgeous neck, that beautiful long neck of Davis Mills.
Motherfucking Mills, baby.
That doesn't happen on accident. Like he had to stretch.
No, and think about it. Last week. Early on, he was lighting up the Patriots, Mills, and then the Colts just got devastated in the secondary by injuries all throughout that game against the Ravens. They could not stop them at all late. That's an interesting spot, man. It's a short week for the Colts. They had that big letdown loss. Carson Wentz played one of the best games of his life on Monday. He was so good. Now you know they're going to have some kind of a letdown in this spot.
Huge letdown spot for these Colts.
And it's a double digit. Like 10 is such a good number there too, from just a betting standpoint. As soon as it gets up from 9 and 9.5 to 10.
Yep.
No hook. Love it.
I'm all over the Texans.
And if you're in a survivor pool or something, I'd stay away from this game.
I already used the Texans, but we also my survivor team got knocked out. So
so if someone out there is alive in a survivor pool, I didn't play the Colts even though they have one of the bigger lines this week because it's a little scary. Mm-hmm. I can absolutely see this game being a lot closer than it should be.
My next play is a play for Chase's heart. It's going to happen eventually. The Bengals Detroit Lions game ends in a tie.
Yes, I love that bet. I love those bets.
It ends in a tie. The Bengals have been so fucking close to tying almost every single game, it feels like. It's bound to happen. These are two teams. One really wants to win. The Bengals probably want to win, but man, the Lions are just scratching and clawing their way for any kind of victory. The closest they're going to get is a tie this week. It's going to happen. I'm seeing it at 50-1.
Dude, I've been chasing the tie. I've been chasing the tie for weeks now. Just betting teams who are allergic to winning, betting that the game will go to overtime.
This
Love
is
it.
good. Yeah. I
Throwing
love
it.
these kind of plays. Any kind of huge plays like that, hell yeah, they're big odds. That's why we play. That's why we're in horse racing, right, Chase? We
That's
can
right,
play
man.
5, 10, 15 to 1 shots like this all the time. I love it.
Yeah,
Go
man.
fucking for it. Gino, what you got next for us, my man?
Okay, I locked this game in really early in the week. Right when it came out, it was plus 3.5 down to plus 2.5. So I'm gonna jump in. If you're just listening now and you want to play, I'd play the money line. I'm playing Chargers straight up against the Ravens, and I'm looking a lot for some of the reasons that Chase was saying. Right, you've got a Baltimore Ravens team that had to overcome this big deficit, 16-point deficit in the fourth quarter. They played
Loins were girded.
overtime game, right? They have a short week now. Let's go through Baltimore. They could be 1-4. They lose.
Yeah, they've played in like all their games have been like 1-score games.
Week 1 to the Raiders, they win. They absolutely, or they lose that game to the Raiders, and we find out now that maybe the Raiders aren't that great. Week 2, they come back. They barely beat the Chiefs late. Could have lost that game. Chiefs turned the ball over a lot. Mahomes had a chance to win it late. Lamar had to do the dive into the end zone. Week 3, they need the 66-yard field goal against the Lions to win. That actually shouldn't even have been kicked. There was a penalty on the play right before that.
Right.
They should have had to kick it from 71. They should have really or could have lost that game. Then in week 4, they play the Broncos. They win that game pretty handily. The Broncos were missing like 10 starters, and at halftime, Teddy B got a concussion. He was out. Drew Lock played the second half. So they played a really banged up Broncos team. They come back. They were getting their asses kicked by the Colts. And if Blankenship didn't get hurt, they lose that game. He missed 2 field goals and an extra point. He has to just make one of them. They drove the ball down like the Colts played so well. They drove the ball down early and they couldn't score when they were inside the 10. They got a field goal blocked. I don't think the Ravens are that good. I really don't. I think they're solid, but I think the Chargers are a much better team than them. And I think it's a good spot for the Chargers right here. These teams are both overvalued because they're coming off of good wins, but it doesn't show up that much in the line. If the line's still like 2.5, 3, right around there, it's not as if the Chargers are getting a lot of support in the betting. So give me the Chargers straight up. I love Brandon Staley. He's a fucking awesome coach, man.
Oh, he's such a good coach. He's such a good fucking coach.
I've been in on the Chargers since last season. Like I had Herbert on my fantasy team, and so I ended up watching like there was the ends of a lot of their games. And yeah, their records sucked last year, but you know what? They were in every single game last year.
Coach, and they were poorly. Anthony Lynn is a good dude, great human being.
He's also probably a good coordinator.
Yeah, and you're right. And that's such a big deal. There are some very good coordinators, and they just can't be a head coach. There's too many things going on. That's sort of where he was, because they could have won like 9 games last year. Instead, they end up losing all these tight games. They've got, when you think about their talent, they have as much talent on their roster, like top-level talent at every position. Think about where they've got wide receivers. They've got a couple studs. In the backfield, they've got a stud. They got a stud quarterback. They've actually got a stud on the defensive line. They've got studs in the D backfield. They've got studs all over the place. It's just they got to stay healthy and kind of put it all together. And it feels like they're doing that right now.
And big up to Anthony Lynn for strategically deflating Tyrod Taylor's lung to make this all happen, to make it all possible.
I had a collapsed lung. I had one of those. I had a tube coming out of the chest for a little while. They call it the spontaneous amniothorax. Yeah, I believe.
Man,
yeah,
fucking wild. Chase, where are we going?
Anthony Lynn sneak up
I bet.
and just puncture you. So I used this logic on the Georgia Kentucky game, thinking it might be a kind of a sleeper spot for Kentucky, because I don't think Georgia's honestly that worried about them. They're looking forward to the world's largest outdoor cocktail party. Yep. I'm not going to call it the outdoor whatever it is.
The Waclop. Call it the Waclop.
Yeah. I have no idea why we can't say cocktail. Why can't we say
because you'll know if you watch later episodes, but there's a bad word in that. So if you watch over the weekend.
Oh, like a cocktail. I got you.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna use that logic on the other half of that game. Florida. I think they're gonna be sleepwalking into LSU. The frog that became a college football coach can get them up. I like the game a little bit more if they push this kickoff back to about 7-8 o'clock for them to get like smell the bourbon on the field drunk at Baton Rouge in Death Valley. So I'm taking LSU plus the 13, and then instead of going like a full game money line, I'm going to sneak in the first quarter and first half money lines there, which are both ridiculously good plus money. Let's see. We've got first half money line plus 275 for LSU and first quarter money line plus 182.
Are you worried about all these injuries and opt-outs for LSU?
No,
Okay.
no, I'm not. They get
You're
up
just banking on Baton Rouge Magic, basically.
I am just banking on drunk Cajun. It can change a game. I've seen like 2 games there now. It is a brutal place to play. So at this game
this weekend, Chase.
Yeah.
One for it.
Coach O leads in and says, "Go Tigers."
Go Tigers.
Love me some Coach O.
I have a play right here, and I do these every week, so you better be watching live if you want them because they're on late tonight. Take me over to the KBO, NC Dinos money line, and the Doosan Bears money line parlay plus 184. These are my 2 favorite teams in the KBO. You're getting Doosan at plus money here, so fucking take it. You snag that shit whenever you can.
KBO action, man. That was getting a lot of us through the pandemic.
That's when I became. Okay, you asked me our favorite baseball team earlier. It's the NC Dinos. There you go.
Yeah, the NC Dinos.
Yep.
By far.
Easily the NC Dinos. Gino, what's up next for you?
Okay, we're going to head to Monday Night Football. This is one of those plays where it's just a total play against a team that looked fucking awesome last week. And I'm playing against the Bills on Monday night. I'm playing the Titans plus the points here. I think the Bills probably win this game in one that's closer. Now, it looks like Julio Jones is going to be back, and you already have Brown back. So this may be, the full complement for Tennessee. We might actually get to see them with all of their weapons on Monday night. What happened the last time we saw the Bills? It was Sunday Night Football. Everybody in their mother was watching. That game was delayed. Everyone stayed with it even longer and saw
I took a nap during the break. Yeah, I was there.
The crap out of the Chiefs, who people think are still a really good team, and they are. They have a bad defense, but they're still a good team. But I don't think anyone wants to play the Titans this week. I just don't know who's going to look at this game and go, yeah, give me the Titans in here. I think they're the right spot to be on. And that's why they might be the right place the right team to play in this particular spot. So the spread in this game, this one opened up at 3.5, and it's all the way up to 5.5 or 6 in some places even. So if you keep waiting, this thing might even creep up more. At 6, I absolutely love it. And even if you lose right now, you're already in a spot where you've been gifted like 2 or 3 points. You've basically been given free points on this betting line with the Titans team that I think is still a little better than we've seen them look when they get everything together. So
this could be like a game day situation bet if you think the number is going to keep climbing and the public's probably going to keep pumping these Bills.
Yep. Why wouldn't you?
I'm also definitely on the over in this game.
Absolutely. Dude, the Bills ran 25 less plays last week and had more total yards than the Chiefs.
Yeah.
They had 8.1 yards per play. They kicked the shit out of them with 103 yards and penalties even. They could have won that game by even more. And that's why I'm going against them.
Is your potential worry that the Titans defense is also really bad though?
They're a fucking sieve. They're fucking awful. Like you said, they're going to both score a ton of points. I'm just hoping that it's a little bit of a flat spot for the Bills, and back-to-back primetime games, little bit of a short week for them too. They probably come into this game not really taking the Titans all that seriously because they're not a division opponent. They just beat the crap out of KC, that was probably one of the biggest games on their schedule for a Bills team that wants to prove themselves and show, hey, look, we can make it to the next level in the AFC. They got to beat the Chiefs. They did not beat them. They killed them. I think the Bills win this game by like a field goal in a close one, but Tennessee hangs around. Henry runs the hell out of the ball, and it's close. So give me those Titans on Monday Night Football plus the points.
Fucking dig it. Chase, where are we going?
So if you're not, aware, I've recently found a genre of videos, which is officials in snooker matches farting so loud that the people playing hear the fart and then are unable to make the shot in the snooker match. So we're taking this to the felt. We're gonna do snooker here. The way I handicap snooker is I find the most British sounding name possible. And so I've been sitting here. If it looks like I've been mumbling, it's because I've been.
We should evaluate how you've been doing with these British.
Yeah, because I've never checked back in on it. Let's see: John Higgins, Ricky Walden, Mark Allen, Bing Tao Yan. So it's not Bing Tao Yan. I feel like it's Ricky Walden plus one.
I feel like it's Ricky Walden.
You sound a little bit more like Murray from Flight of the Conchords than you do like British.
It's because I've been doing the
Nitro.
I know.
Yeah.
There's a little more
Sheila.
Murray. Really, yeah. Jermaine. Yeah. There's more of that. Brit.
People from New Zealand are like, "Hey, let's go to the cab," but we're like, "Hey, let's go to the cab." It's different. So Ricky Walden plus 175 on the money line against Mark Allen. Let's see who's more Britisher. I think it's Ricky Walden.
I think it's Ricky Walden in that one for sure.
I'm making a note to check on this, by the way.
Yeah, we definitely need to we should definitely start tracking these for fucking sure. Starting now, folks, we're gonna start tracking these. My next play, it's another first touchdown prop, and it's another XFL player. It's an XFL legend. Give me Donald Parham, first touchdown in the Chargers-Ravens game. Guess what? He's done it 2 weeks in a row now. I think he keeps this streak alive. I am making money hand over fist betting this every week. Give it to me. They just seem to turn him on when it's red zone time. They just seem to be targeting him a lot. And even I think 3 or 4 weeks ago, he had a touchdown called back. That would have been the first touchdown of the game. It is insane how much the Chargers are trying to target him in the red zone.
Death
as a tight end
taxes.
threat.
Donald Parham first touchdown.
And the best part is basically once he gets the first touchdown, his props are so low. Like his receptions are numbers are so low and his receiving yards are so low and his number of touchdowns. You can get him anytime touchdown for good money. You can get over receiving yards and over receptions. And that's basically done within the first quarter.
And you said, what is it, 28? What's the
number? Oh, yeah. The first touchdown is 28-1. He is 28-1.
That's awesome. That's a great number.
So he's been going. They have been catching on. The books have been catching on. He was 35-1 2 weeks ago, 30-1 last week, and now he's 28-1. I'm max betting this one, whatever anyone will let me.
Love it. I'm in that game and I'm on the Charger side. So give us some Parham early and often, baby.
I love it.
Let's do that.
I'm also throwing him as a potential option in a couple DraftKings
good
lineups.
Call. Because he's dirt cheap, right? He's got to be
he's like 2,900.
I was gonna say he's under 3,000 for sure.
Yeah, he's under 3,000. He's high 2,000s, I think.
That's a great spot. That's a great play.
What do we got, Gino?
Okay, let's go to a game where I have kind of a lot of sort of plays, like a couple DFS plays and plays in the game. If you can get 3 somewhere on the Browns Cardinals, I love the Browns in this game. Earlier in the week, it was around 3. It's sort of 3.5 some spots. Now keep an eye on the Browns with some COVID issues, but they're also going to be missing Chubb. And you know what? And Chubb is awesome. He's one of the best backs.
Give me so many shares of Hunt this week. Many shares of Hunt.
That's the key. Hunt has been a tad banged up. I'd imagine he's going to play. But if you hear going into the game that maybe he's going to be take a look at Demetric Felton. $4,000. Okay, let's talk about him for a second. So he's had multiple targets and multiple catches 3 times this year in 5 games in a backfield that has Chubb and Hunt. So they like this guy to already have him on the field with those 2 guys. Now, Chubb's not playing. So he's absolutely going to be getting some looks. Uh-huh. He has not gotten 1 carry this year, but last year at UCLA, they converted him from wide receiver to running back. And because the season was shortened due to COVID, they only played 6 games. This dude had 668 yards rushing in 6 games. He had 827 scrimmage yards in 6 games last year. 5.1 yards per carry. So he can run between the tackles. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. And if Hunt is the guy that they want on downs 1, 2, and 3, maybe they bring in Felton for some, or downs 1 and 2. Maybe Felton comes in for some third downs, gets some passes out of the backfield too, runs a little bit. Keep an eye on both of them because I like the Browns side. The thing that's nice about the Browns is awesome offensive line, and they just want to run the ball. So they're going to run with whoever they have, right? I think they're sort of like the Ravens in that, like, you can kind of place anyone in there and they'll run fine. Of course, Chubb is much better than a lot of anyone else you're going to plug in, but keep an eye on that. Hunt all over the place. And if Hunt's a little banged up, maybe even some Demetric Felton at only 4,000.
I like that one. Speaking of potential people out with some COVID issues, looking to maybe fading the Cardinals.
Absolutely.
Yeah, 3 coaches out. Kingsbury is out.
Yep.
Their quarterback coach is out, and their D-line coach is out. So I was all over the Cardinals before. I'm kind of off a little bit.
Look at the Cardinals, Jim, when you go game by game like we did with the Ravens with them. They could be like 2 and 3.
My thing with the Cardinals, though, is they seem to they play close against the bad teams on their schedule, and then they get up for the big games and dominate.
You never want to lay a bunch of points with them.
No, if they're dogs, I am usually all over them.
Absolutely, because Kyler keeps them in every game, right? He can run. He'll pick up big plays. He'll kind of even if Cliffy Kingsbury isn't the greatest, sharpest coach in the world, Kyler will get them there. The only worry I have right now is Kyler's a little banged up. Last week, he wasn't that great. Apparently, there's some issues with his shoulder. Yeah. He didn't throw all that much. If Trey Lance just stretches out across the goal line, they may have lost that game last week. So I don't know if they're as good as their 5-0 record would suggest.
I think fully healthy they could be. I think that game against the Rams is just the big, that's the one that's on everybody's mind.
Yep.
It's just they beat the Rams and they looked fucking awesome doing it. So that's all in their heads. I'm still kind of fading them this week. Chase, what do you got next for us?
I'm going to go to ACC football. That just shiny piece of shit.
The Pac-12 East.
Yeah, that's right. Yep. And I'm going to go against a team that I'm going counter garage here. I'm going anti-garage here. I'm playing against a team that Jim absolutely loves. They're on the road where they play Enter Sandman, and they bring their lunch lunch pail with them to work. That's right, the Virginia Tech Hokies. Gonna take them +5 against Pittsburgh and the 35-year-old Kenny Pickett.
This is a game I am worried that Pitt can pit, and that happens every once in a while. I don't know. I'm probably not touching this game, to be honest. Maybe the over. I'd probably go the over.
I want a good old-fashioned Blacksburg silly putty neck beat down.
No. Pitt needs to keep winning on their way to an ACC championship.
It's very well sculpted, the silly putty neck. One time you fell asleep on a Doonesbury cartoon. It was the best.
I'm going next up to another baseball league that you better be watching live because this is happening tonight. The Japanese Baseball League, the JBL. My 2 favorite teams are playing.
The Ham Fighters.
You know me, Chase. You know which ones I love. I love the Oryx Oxen or whatever they're called. I always get it mixed up. And then I love me some Nippon Ham Fighters. They're playing together. I almost wanted to take the Ham Fighters on the money line, but I'm not going to. I am taking them +1.5. You're getting a decent line at +1.5. I think this is going to be a 1-score game, basically. You're getting -135 here. And I love it. I love the Ham Fighters here in this spot to keep it close.
Anybody who fights with ham.
Amazing. Yeah. They are my second favorite baseball team.
It's like I challenge you to a duel, slap someone in the face with a piece of ham, right?
I found that bologna. Bologna works better.
My thought is they have ham they kind of cut out the center of, and they're using it like boxing gloves.
Yeah. So I actually had from every day, Monday through Friday, from kindergarten through 8th grade, I had a bologna sandwich with light mayo, crust cut off on white bread every single day for lunch. Mrs. Buccola made for me all the way from kindergarten through 8th grade, every freaking day.
And don't you give me any bologna that doesn't have the red plastic ring around it. I will know the difference.
Yep. I know it. I want that Oscar Mayer. Give me the frickin' Oscar Mayer, the plastic ring. I want the circular bologna. I want
With
the
some
little
mustard
edges,
and some mayo.
the edges around the side of that bologna. Little bit of mayo. God, that was some good shit.
So it's probably like a regional, processed meat brand. But we had King Cotton bologna here. I have a feeling you probably don't get a lot of King Cotton out on the West Coast.
No, really.
And they're thick cut.
Okay.
Ooh.
Little girthier.
With
girthier.
mesquite barbecue chips on top.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yes, that's a play. That's a play.
With the mustard
The
and the
crust-
and the.
Oh my goodness! I had that as a Subway sandwich growing up my whole life before Subway got rid of the bologna, and then they used to only have bologna as part of the cold cut meats.
Yep.
And now they don't even really have that.
They don't have it now.
No,
Dude, just embrace your inner Hardee's and be like, hey, this is not going to be good for
that
you.
was amazing. I used to, and I'm not kidding. Barbecue Masterpiece, the chips. I still crush them on the sandwich every time I go to Subway. I do a turkey bacon cheese now with the barbecue chips. It's not the same as the bologna, but it's fine. It does.
It gets the job done.
Yeah,
It gets the job done.
It does it.
It gives me that crunchy texture without actually eating vegetables, and I'm all
Speaking
for
of
that.
speaking of regionality, you know what season it is for me, Chase? I don't think you were here in the summer, so we don't do it here, but Runza specifically and in general, the big play out here is chili and cinnamon roll combination.
Okay.
I've
You
had-
dip the cinnamon roll in chili.
The sweet
and I've
and the
had
salty.
chili with cinnamon,
Yeah.
in it. That makes
Yep.
sense. That
Yep,
makes
you
sense.
get the cinnamon roll and the chili. You combine them. Oh, it's so good.
Dude,
It's
Runza
so
just lights the fucking
fucking good.
campfire in your heart. Runza
Also,
is delicious.
we're getting into the Runza. This is for no one but Nebraska people, but it's almost Temperature Tuesday time, which is a deal where on every Tuesday of every week, whatever temperature it is outside, that's how much a Runza costs.
It's amazing.
Well, and I gotta say, Jim, I've been following along with some of your recent eating escapades. Fantastic stuff.
Next time you're here, next time any of you guys are in Nebraska, we're hitting up Dally's Deli. It's fucking amazing. I'm
Fantastic
2 for 2
stuff.
so far.
Great
2
stuff.
for fucking 2. Chase, what do we got next?
So I'm not sure how long these have been here because I literally just found this page on Nitro, but let's get some full season props for NCAA basketball.
Oh,
And I'm betting with my heart. I'm betting
we
on Eric
go.
Musselman, and I'm betting on the Arkansas Razorbacks to win the Final Four.
Whee!
3,300.
To make the Final Four?
No, to win the national championship this year.
I like it.
There we go.
They went to the Elite Eight last year.
It is
We
a
weren't supposed to make
full-on
it.
DGen move to make like basketball future bets this far in advance, and I am here for it.
And can you believe fucking the NBA starts on Tuesday?
It's wild.
Holy
It's
shit.
an insanely busy sports time. You
Right.
don't even realize it sneaks up on you.
Yeah, because
October,
you'll have the World Series, NFL, college football, college basketball's coming up sooner than you might know it.
Hockey.
WNBA's going on, NHL's going on,
NFL.
NFL, and then
Obviously.
fucking like World Cup qualifying, soccer,
Snooker.
and
Yeah.
Some years it's
ABL.
the Breeders' Cup, which starts at the beginning of it's in November this year. It's November 5th and 6th. But
Jeez.
there is insane amount of shit every single freaking week throughout October. I got a fucking insane play in football for you this week too, Jimmy. We're gonna play the Detroit Lions and Dan Campbell
Ooh.
plus 3.5. He's
Ooh.
crying in the press conference. This poor team, they've lost twice this year on 50-plus yard field goals. And you wonder, how are they going to respond? Well, you know what? When you see your coach crying out there, you probably like this guy and you at least feel for him. This Detroit team, they've played feisty every game. Even the games they looked like shit. They looked like shit against the Bears. They drove inside the 10-yard line 4 times and couldn't score one fucking point. That game is really deceiving when you really start to break it down. The Bengals, I think they're an okay team. They're not bad. They're probably a little bit better than some people would have expected this year. Their defense is kind of feisty. They played 5 games. 4 of them have finished by exactly 3 points. This game is 3.5.
Yep.
I'm gonna take Detroit.
The best part, the thing I love most about this bet is you can win this and win the tie.
Absolutely, right? We can win the tie.
We can win together. That's my favorite thing about this right now.
We want to get into overtime. We want Zach Taylor doing stupid shit. I'm looking at Cincy. Their running backs. Joe Mixon did not have a great week last week because he's been banged up. Samaje Perine is not playing. So Joe Mixon's backup's not playing. That may force Joe Mixon into play a little bit more. They're going to have to try to play Captain America, Chris Evans, in this game. Their running back. He's going to be out there with the fucking shield, wielding that shit around. And they've given the shield to the Falcon now. That's not even his shield anymore. Like, he shouldn't have that out there on the field. So give
They'll just have
banged up neck, right? He went to the hospital last week, like a throat issue.
Throat contusion.
Give me the Lions, plus the 3.5 at home.
Life has face fucked you whenever you have throat contusions.
Yeah. Is the truth.
CFL.
Do it. I want
to give me those Calgary Stampeders on the money line, plus 142 over the BC Lions.
I'm on the opposite side of this play. I'm on the Lions. I kind of think their backs are a little bit against the wall, and it's a hard place to play.
Yeah, but I do like BC, especially because they got my man Keon Hatcher up there catching passes. He was just such a monster when he played for Arkansas. But yeah, I'm going with the Stampeders. A Stampeders close to a Rough Rider, therefore it fits under our purview, and we are for it.
I mean, I don't hate it. I'm not on it. I don't hate that play. I think I'm feeling like this is I'm kind of playing that this is a letdown spot for the Stampeders after beating the Rough Riders last week in the way that they did. But I don't hate it. All right. My next play right here. I'm playing them every fucking week because guess what? They're winning the Conference USA. Meet, motherfuckers. UTSA is here to kick the shit out of some Owls and prove that the Roadrunner is the superior bird. I'm on UTSA minus 17. Some people are scared. I've been on a couple podcasts where people were scared of these big spreads. Not me. Fuck it. Give it to me. If I see value in a spread, I'll take it no matter how big it is.
They put those big numbers up because it scares people away from betting them.
Yeah.
Right? People see those big numbers. I don't want to play those big numbers, but those numbers are probably still off 3 or 4 points. If we saw that same spread or we saw a same number be off that many points with a lower total, we would jump all over it. So it's totally agree with you. In college too, like I focus a lot on NFL even a little bit more, but college and college basketball in particular, if you have a little bit of an advantage, you can jump in on some games early and really, really make a killing.
Well, college basketball in particular, there's so many fucking games every week, every day. Yeah, exactly.
It's just hard for everybody to be really sharp on every team. The NFL, we can have a conversation and not have looked anything up and talk for 5 hours about every player on every team because we already know them, It's way different in college sports.
Also, any books out there, please give me some college volleyball action. Please do that. And also, every week I'm going to be calling for it. Give me that X League action, please.
We want to bet on the Tokyo Gas creators.
I do.
Defensive specialist in my day. Was really good at getting the digs out.
I fucking like it. Chase, what do we got next?
I have put together this is where my heart is. These are where my dogs sleep. Moneyline parlay. That is one. Let's see. It's 7 layers deep. It's a 7-layer dip here. Here we go. We're taking Kentucky first quarter moneyline plus 363.
Okay.
Central Michigan plus 168. Fresno State minus 161. Yep. Virginia Tech plus 180. Eastern Michigan plus 103. Oklahoma State plus 144. And those running Razorbacks from Fayetteville, Arkansas minus 189. 7 folds plus 4-2-5-5-5.
Love it. Love that play.
Puts a little hair on your chest.
Love it.
What it does. A little hair on your chest.
You're damn right it does.
I'm sweating. Yeah.
Chest hair for everybody.
Yep.
Chest hair.
I'm sweating like I was just jumping rope in an attic after saying that.
That's some good shit.
My next play is going to be I got a couple right here. I'm actually this is kind of a back against the wall play. I am taking the Panthers on the money line here. They're plus 115. They're dogs. This is kind of a prove it to me game of Darnold, like kind of proving to me that he's not Jets Darnold anymore. He's the Carolina Darnold. And I think Chuba Hubbard, he's no McCaffrey, but nobody is. I think he steps into the role pretty well still.
I agree.
And like this Panthers team, their defense is awesome. It's good. They're going to win. That's all I'm going to say about that.
It's a good spot. The Vikings haven't looked very good in back-to-back weeks. They got they scored 7 points, and they got the shit kicked out of them, really, against the Browns a couple weeks ago. They did not move the ball at all. And then last week, they needed – how crazy is it that the Vikings got kicking luck?
Yeah.
Right? Of every team to get to need a winning field goal, it was the fucking Vikings, and they got that last week.
Well, Vikings bad kicking luck does not match Detroit just bad luck.
No.
God.
Right. No.
Dan Campbell just crying. That man was talking about biting kneecaps, and now he's just been reduced to just like his emotional essence. Like this is it.
Dude, the second they win a game, he is going to get so drunk.
Dude, I'll tell you what, it made me really like Dan Campbell, because if you give that much of a fuck about the Detroit Lions,
you're the coach that needs to be there. In
it to win it.
I don't know if you guys saw last night after the Dodger game, they interviewed Cody Bellinger. He got one of the big hits, and they asked him, what's going on and what's up? Scherzer came in and closed the game out, and he was like, oh, yeah. He's like, he basically said, we're getting fucked up tonight. And then apparently Scherzer is like the biggest party animal of everyone, which is great. And Scherzer was like, I work hard, I play fucking hard. And
if you have 2 different colored eyes, you better fucking party.
Right? You fucking better.
He's the guy that's up at 4 and everybody's passed out. And he's like, what else are we doing?
Let's fucking go.
Some other shit, right? That's
that dude did so much cocaine, one of his eyes turned blue.
Yeah. Oh, I love it.
It's like 4 a.m. He's like, hey guys, let's go to Waffle House.
Bellinger had this scary, we're gonna be thinking about what he's done with Scherzer just recently. They've only been together for not that long.
Yeah.
So.
We heard a thump and we just said, just keep driving.
Oh shit. Yeah.
We're coming to the end of the show, folks. We're coming to the end. It's time for our last picks of the weekend, of the night. We'll start off with Gino. What's your last pick?
I'm an LA guy. I talked about the Rams. I'm going for another DFS pick for you. So the Rams are in a really good spot this week. They are a team I played in Survivor. They're playing at the Giants. The Giants are going to be playing without Barkley, without all 3 of their top wide receivers, and possibly their best offensive lineman. And Daniel Jones got a concussion last week. He probably plays, but who knows how good he is.
He probably plays, but he probably shouldn't play.
Hope Evan Ingram can run the option.
And it's a bummer because
big Kadarius Toney week.
Pretty good this year. He's been way better than a lot of people expected, but I just don't think the Giants are going to have a team firing on all cylinders. So I'm looking at Darrell Henderson. He's 6,000 in DraftKings, and if you want to play some of his particular props. So Henderson, he got banged up a couple weeks ago. This is going to be his 3rd game back now, and he has a couple extra days off. In his 2 games back since the injury, 80-plus yards rushing in each of them. 4 games that he's played this year, 15.7 DraftKings points in all of those games. That's a nice floor to have for someone like Henderson. And I see the script of this game. They're a 9.5-point favorite. The Rams are likely to be up in this game late where they need to run the clock out. They're handing the ball off repeatedly. I think Henderson might be able to sneak into the end zone a couple times here. He's just someone that he's not going to be a high percentage owned, right? He's not like a sexy player to go get in your DraftKings lineup. He's right at 6,000. He's kind of in that middle zone. I think he's a really good running back to target this week because the game script really fits him. So I played the Rams in Survivor. I think they probably win against the depleted Giants team, and give me Henderson trying to run the clock out.
I like that play. Actually, I see a lot of garbage time kind of yardage.
Yeah.
I like it quite a bit.
Chase, what's your final play of the day?
I feel like every day you should bet on something that you completely don't understand. So I'm looking at international cricket. We've got Ghana versus Rwanda. I'll tell you what, I used to play men's league soccer. We used to play called Bridge to Rwanda. They were a like human rights, like reach out where they brought these kids over from Rwanda, got them into American colleges. So it was like me and my friends who were out of shape in our early 30s playing against some like 19-year-old just like Rwandan beasts. And
awesome.
I was always just beat the fuck up after that game. And it's not because the Rwandans played rough. It's just like no one on my team could like keep up with them. And so I played goalie. It was a whole lot of just like 5-on-1s, just 5 Rwandans coming at me. One time I slid to make a stop. He kicked the ball, hit me in the stomach. You could literally see every panel of the ball in the bruise for the next week. I'm not, how can I bet against that? If I'm gonna create a stereotype, which is Rwandans go hard when it comes to athletics. So I'm taking Rwanda plus 130 against Ghana on the money line. Let's get that African cricket money.
That's great.
I think I just killed Jim. He just like full on, just like.
I love that play. I love it. My final play of the day. I'm actually going to play to Gino right here. You're wearing the Dodgers shirt. I see it. I like it.
Let's do it, Jim.
Not only am I on the Dodgers to win the series,
Yeah.
I am on the Dodgers to win it specifically 4-2 because I think the Braves they kind of have that team of destiny feel to them, so they're probably going to get 1 or 2 of them.
Fuck yeah.
And I'm also on the party animal himself, Max Scherzer, to win the NLCS MVP.
Fuck yeah. I love it.
So for them to win the series 4-2, it's plus 360. And for him to win the MVP, I'm getting it plus 725.
How many starts do you think he has to get to win the MVP? At least 2. Yeah.
2.
No, he'll get 2.
Gotta be like an open, like game 2. And then
Bueller will start game 1 because Urias and Scherzer both pitched in the last game. And then Scherzer will start game 2. Urias will start game 3. Depending on where they are, they could come back with like Gonsolin and sort of like a bullpen game if they need. But if they're down, they'll come right back with Bueller and Scherzer. Scherzer's pitching games 2 and 6 in the series, 5 or 6 in the series for sure. And if they win it in 6, Scherzer's winning game 2 and game 6. And we're going to go to the fucking World Series and we're going to beat one of those fucking cheating bastard fucking teams from the American fucking League that cheated us in the back-to-back World Series, Jim. Those fucking Red Sox, those fucking Astros, they're cheating sons of bitches with Cora. They fucking cheated us, and we're going to fucking get them back. We're going to fucking get them back, those fucking cheaters.
Revenge tour begins after this series.
Let the bourbon course through your veins, Gino.
Let it
unlock your inner SEC fan. It just means more.
That'll end it for this episode, this edition of the Gymnasium Picks Porch. My man, Gino, where can the people find you? Shout out your shit.
At It's Me, Gino B on Twitter. I've got a podcast. That's what G said. Anywhere you get your podcast. And I'm always at BTV Bets with all of you crazy characters. Better than .Vegas. Check us out. We got live streams over there all the time. And I can't wait till the one day when I get to link up with the two of you. We have some drinks. We smoke some blunts. We have a good time. It'll be coming sooner than later.
We got some spots we got to hit up in LA.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, before you go, Gina, before I give Chase a shout out, what's your favorite place to eat in Los Angeles?
Okay.
Off the top of your head.
A place that you guys would love is
Carl's Jr.
Is where?
Philippe's.
Where's that one?
It's in downtown. It's close to Dodger Stadium.
Okay.
It's a French dip sandwich. It's an old school deli that has incredible shit. Early in the morning, they have breakfast, but they're a really good sandwich place. And they've got the French dips. They're world renowned. Even if you're someone who doesn't like meat, they do a French dip cheese sandwich. That's really good.
I've delivered for them for Postmates.
Yep. They soak it.
Smells amazing.
Au jus. It's awesome. A lot of people make it as a big stop before they go to the Dodger game or the Laker game or a concert or anywhere in LA. Philippe's, it's one of the great places. And then if you're cheaper, you get those bacon-wrapped hot dogs outside of the Staples Center. They make and they cook them up right there in the street for you. They're like $5. The street meat. Either one of those.
The street dogs are amazing. I have a spot too that I maybe Gino's been here, but I know Chase hasn't because he's never been. Hey Jang Chon is my favorite Korean barbecue place I've ever fucking been. It's so good. Gotta go.
Awesome shit. Anything in the SoCal area, in the LA area, in like the San Gabriel Valley-ish area. That's Chinese food, Asian food, Korean food.
So fucking good.
Incredible. Like top 10 lists in the world, and you'll find them all in the San Gabriel Valley area for those restaurants. They're fantastic.
So fucking good. Chase, shout out your shit.
Man, you can always find me being abrasive on Twitter at of Oaklawn. That is OF Oaklawn. Most of the time, I'm with this big galoot wearing the visor, XFL Jim. You'll see me back here Sunday night for.
You're damn right.
I like it. I like the big exhale. I like that. I see what
That's
you're
great.
doing. Oh, somebody doing drugs. And then, yeah, you can always find me in the gymnasium with my boy XFL Jim. Fridays with Blackjack Fletcher and ex WWE Diva Summer Rae, aka Danielle Monnier, on Always Be Racing. And yeah, just like.
Does she still think I'm challenged? By the way.
Oh yeah, she still thinks that
Okay.
you are an R word. Yeah.
Let's roll with that. Let's roll with that. You can find me everywhere, folks. Twitter, XFL Jim. I tweet more than probably is acceptable, but I'm on Twitter constantly. Find me on TikTok. I'm bringing TikTok back to my life, and find me on YouTube. Find me on YouTube because I am posting cooking videos. I got Bud Light Seltzer reviews, and guess what? It's spooky season. I have a video planned for Halloween. It's gonna be fucking lit, so be ready for that.
Fuck yeah.
That'll do it for this episode of the Gymnasium Picks Porch. Follow our picks, win some money. Love you guys, and peace the fuck out.